Hi everybody, I'm Shariq, regulated Canadian immigration consultant, back with another video on Canadian immigration. So are you somebody who's interested in getting Canadian open work permit? If that's the case, I'm making this video for all those people who inquire about getting Canadian open work permit. So I have previously made a video on various kinds of Canadian work permits. You can have a look at that. But one constant query that myself and my staff get to have on our social media platforms and through email is that people want to apply for Canadian open work permit. So I thought I'll make a quick video and I'll inform people as to how you can get a Canadian open work permit. Now, when you say Canadian open work permit, I've already mentioned that there are, in my previous video, that there are two different kinds of Canadian work permits. One is the normal work permit, which is tied to an employer, where an employer offers you a job and you can only work for that employer while you're in Canada. The other one, Canadian open work permit, as the name suggests, it's a work permit on which you can work for any employer. And that's where probably a lot of people are attracted. But Canadian open work permit can only be granted in specific situations. Some of the common situations I'll brief. So first of all, if you are somebody who has completed education in Canada and once you finish your studies, you can apply for a postgraduate work permit. Now that is an open work permit where you don't have any restriction as to which employer you want to work for. You can work for any employer. And that is an open work permit. But for that, you have to complete studies in Canada. It must be at least 8 months of study. Then you get 8 months. If you study for a degree which has a duration of 2 years or more, you can get up to a 3 years open work permit. So number one. Number two, if you are if you are a dependent of somebody who is coming to Canada on a work permit, be it as a closed work permit, or who is coming to Canada as a student on a study permit, you can apply for an open work permit. So I'll repeat, if you are a dependent, like if you are a spouse maybe of somebody who got a work permit, like a job offer to work in Canada, and you're joining that person as the spouse, or if somebody's coming to Canada on a study permit and they have a spouse with them, the spouse in that case can apply for an open work permit and they can work for any employer. So that's the second major category. With that, then there are certain other categories, like if you come to Canada as a refugee and you put your refugee claim and your refugee claim is accepted and it is being processed by the refugee division. In that case, government gives you an open work permit where there is no employer tied to it. You can work for any employer in Canada, and that is another major form of open work permit. There are certain other instances. I'll just talk about them. That if you are somebody who came to Canada, got a study permit, but then you are not able to continue your studies, and there are valid reasoning, in that case, the government can allow you an open work permit. If you came on an employer specific work permit and now you can prove that your employer is abusing the conditions, you can apply for an open work permit. If you have applied for permanent residency status and you're waiting on that decision, you can apply for an open work permit. You can, and you're in Canada. This is for CEC and PGWP applicants. And then there are certain special programs like Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. So guys, only in these cases that you can apply for an open work permit. So three major eligibility criteria that I'll put: that if you've completed your studies in Canada, which is at least 8 months, then you can apply for an open work permit, which is a postgraduate work permit. If you are a spouse of somebody who is coming to Canada or is in Canada on a work permit or a study permit, then you can apply. Or if you're a refugee claimant in Canada and your refugee claim is being processed by the refugee division, in that case you can get an open work permit. Other than that, you cannot get an open work permit from outside of Canada. The work permit that maybe you can get is a closed work permit where you apply for a job. Some employer in Canada offers you a job, they apply for an LMIA, and then you get that work permit. Hopefully this will clarify and probably we'll not be getting as many queries about open work permit. Thank you. Goodbye.